Hello, this is our slope down project. We will show you how to find slope from positive slope to ratio, made by Jose Salome and Eddie Carrillo. First up is positive slope. It's positive because the x or 2 in this case is positive and the negative 4 is y. So you would graph this on the line by going up 2 and left 4. You repeat this pattern and eventually you'll create a line that will be positive. Next up we have negative slope. Negative because the 3 is negative, or the x, or some people would call it. So you would go left 3 spaces and down 1. Keep doing this and you'll eventually have a negative slope. Third we have zero slope. Zero because it has no slope, or other people would call it horizontal. You would graph this on the line like the one shown here. Since it has no x, you are going to graph it on the y-axis, and it would look like the one shown here. Fifth, we have undefined slope. It's undefined because it does not cross the y-intercept, so you would see it as shown here. It's vertical, so a trick you can use to help you remember this is imagine a cliff and see how it's vertical. You can put 2 and 2 together and make the connection. 6. Now we have rise over run. Rise is the x, or in this case 2, and run is y, or in this case 1. So look at the graph. So we'll start at -2, where the red line appears. Then go up 2, then move 1 to the right, where like the blue line here shown. That is rise over run. 7th, we have ordered pairs. Ordered pairs are numbers in parentheses to use in a graph or find a point like the examples shown here. 8th is sloped intercept form. The formula for that is y equals mx plus b. The m is the slope and b is where the line crosses the y-axis. An example not shown here is y equals 3/4 x plus 2. To graph this, you need to find 2 on the graph, then use 3/4 to find the slope. Graph that and then you have used the slope intercept form formula to find the slope.
Here we have m equals x1 minus x2 and y1 minus y2. This is a formula to find out what your slope is. Rate of change equals change in y and change in x. Rates of change can be positive or negative. This corresponds to an increase or decrease in the value between the two data points. When a quantity does not change over time, it is called zero rate of change. We have x1, x2, and y1 and y2. To find any equation of a line, the slope of the line must be found. When 2 points, which is x1, x2, and y1, y2, are given and the equation contains these 2 points, the first step is to find the slope of the line. Here we have x and y. The x-intercepts are where the graph crosses the x-axis, and the y-intercepts are where the graph crosses the y-axis. Here we have slope. Slope is a measure of the steepness of a line or a section of a line, connecting 2 points. Next up is ratio. Ratio is a relationship between two numbers indicating how many times the first number contains the second. For example, if a bowl of fruit contains 8 oranges and 6 lemons, then the ratio of the oranges to the lemons is 8:6. That is 8:6, which is equivalent to the ratio 4:3. Here we have fraction, a mathematical expression representing the division of one whole number by another, usually written as two numbers separated by a horizontal line. In this case, rise over run.